Good morning, children. This weekend we're celebrating Saint Nicholas. And I would like to share with you a little bit about Saint Nicholas from this book by Jane Yolen and Tommy de Paola. Also, many gift-giving traditions over time. Santa Claus, as we know him today, is only 200 years old. But long before our Santa Claus, there were Christmas gift bringers. Even before that, presents were exchanged at the winter solstice festivals. Early gift givers included the Norse god Odin riding his 8-footed horse, and the German goddess Hertha, who brought gifts of good fortune and health. At the Roman Saturnalia, the rich gave gifts to the poor, and the poor gave garlands of holly and laurel. The Jewish people celebrate Hanukkah in the winter with gifts for each of the 8 days. That custom continues to today. The 3 kings, or the wise men or the magi, brought gifts to the baby Jesus arriving at the stable on January 6th or 3 Kings Day, according to tradition. Their presents were gold, the symbol of kingship, frankincense, and myrrh, as a sign that Christ would be a healer. Each of the 3 kings ruled a different country. Old white-bearded Melchior was king of Nubia and Arabia. Young Caspar headed Tarsus, a city in Turkey, and Balthazar was lord of Ethiopia. Saint Nicholas lived in the 4th century and was a bishop in the city of Smyrna in Asia Minor. He was known for his kindness and his love of children. It was said that he once brought 3 murdered schoolboys back to life. The most famous story about Saint Nicholas and his goodness tells how he helped out an impoverished merchant who had lost all his money. The merchant's 3 daughters were going to be sold into slavery to pay his debts. Nicholas tossed a bag of gold into the window, and so for the first girl was saved. He did it again for the second. When he threw in the 3rd bag, the merchant found out. And soon the story of Nicholas's generosity was all over the city. After that, anyone receiving an unexpected gift thanked the bishop. He was made a saint in 800 by the Eastern Church. Sinterklaas is the Dutch name for St. Nicholas. Svati Miklaus is the Czechoslovakian gift giver, who is let down from heaven by means of a golden cord held by angels. Befana is the Italian gift giver, an old woman who was too busy cleaning her house to go with the wise men to Bethlehem. According to legend, she searches the world over every Epiphany Eve, leaving gifts and candy in the shoes of sleeping children, just in case one of them is the child she seeks. The Russian version of Befana is the old woman babushka. Yule Tomten is a Swedish gnome with a red cap and a long white beard who rides on a sleigh pulled by a goat. He brings presents on Christmas Eve, and the children leave out bowls of porridge for him, as well as carrots for his goat. Father Christmas is the gigantic English gift bringer who wears a scarlet robe lined with fur. He is crowned with holly or ivy or mistletoe and takes part in mummers' plays at Christmas. Christ Kindle is the baby Jesus himself as a gift giver, bringing presents to German children on Christmas Eve. Traveling on a white donkey, he leaves Christ's bundle of food, caps, mittens, and toys, as well as the occasional birch rod as a warning to be good. Santa Claus is the American version of the gift giver. He was made popular by 2 American writers and 1 cartoonist. In the early 1800s, the famous author Washington Irving wrote a number of stories about Dutch settlers in New York City. St. Nicholas was a character in several of the tales. He rides over the tops of trees in a horse-drawn wagon, filling Christmas stockings that hang by the fire and smoking a long pipe. Author Clement Moore added more details, some of which he borrowed from other sources, when he wrote his famous poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas. He probably took the reindeer from a children's poem called The Children's Friend. He may even have known about the Yule Tomten because he describes St. Nicholas as a right jolly old elf. Thomas Nast was a well-known political cartoonist who drew many pictures of Santa Claus from 1863 to 1886 in the Christmas issues of the popular magazine Harper's Weekly. Nast invented Santa's workshop, Santa answering letters from boys and girls, and even Santa drawing up lists of good and bad children. Nast was also the first to draw a picture of Santa at the North Pole. His cartoons feature a fat, jolly Santa with a red fur-trimmed jacket and a full white beard, just the way we think of Santa Claus today. And these little angels at the bottom say, Nast was the man who first drew a donkey and an elephant as symbols for the Democrats and Republicans. Lucky he didn't show Santa riding an elephant. Don't be silly. Santa on an elephant? Imagine what that would do to your roof. I like these stories about so many different gift givers and how they show us how God keeps showing up again and again, coming to give us good gifts through one another. Happy St. Nick!